Hi, welcome to another episode of Short and Sweet TV. In this episode, we'll be looking at Photoshop and how you can clip an image inside of text. I often get asked from students, how do I put an image inside a text? And it's actually a relatively straightforward process in Photoshop. To do it, we'll start off with this document here. I've created my text. You can see in my layers panel, I've got that text layer sitting above the default background layer. You probably want to choose a font that's relatively thick when you do this so that you can see the texture or the photo that you're using or clipping inside of the text. So I've now got to bring some text in, an image in. I come up to File and then scroll down to Place and navigate to where that is saved. So there we go. I've got some gold glitter, lovely gold glitter to use behind the text or clip inside of the text. So I'm just scaling that because it's coming a little small. I'm holding the Shift key as I do that and grabbing the corners because that retains that aspect ratio, the width and the height, otherwise the image would distort. And I'll just hit Return or Enter now that I've got it at the right size. And there's two ways that I can now clip this inside of my text. I could use my shortcut key, which is to hold down the Option key or the Control on a PC. And when I do that, I just hover between the two layers there and I get that little clipping mask symbol. You can see that there, and just click once and it clips it inside. Now I'll show you the other method. I'll go back a step. I'll just Command Z to undo that. And if I come up to the drop down menu in my layers panel, you can see here that I've got the option to create a clipping mask. So if I use that option, it does exactly the same thing. Now I've clipped that inside. It doesn't mean I can't edit it. I can still move that around with my Move tool selected. I can move the image around inside of the text. I could scale it. I can come to the corners here and holding Shift down again, I can bring that up in size and just hit Return once I've got that to size. Now you may want to add a slight drop shadow or some sort of layer effect to your text when you do this because it can make it a little bit difficult to read when you've got some texture or a photo running through it. So to do that, I just come across to my layers panel, click on the text layer, and then scroll up to my layer options and come down to layer styles. So it's here that I've got a whole bunch of layer styles to choose from. I could add a drop shadow. I'm going to add a bevel and emboss for this. And from my bevel and emboss options here in my layer style window, I've got this drop down here. You can see there's quite a number of different embosses to choose from. I think I'm just going to stick with the inner bevel effect. And I'll increase the size just so you can see how dramatic it becomes. You can see looks quite rounded and three-dimensional there. There we go. I might leave that and click OK. So, and it's still completely editable. I can still go up and click on that gold glitter layer and move it around inside of the text. So hopefully you found this tutorial useful, and I look forward to seeing you in the next short and sweet Photoshop tutorial.